I'm up here taking a little break in the Hudson Valley. It's beautiful here this time of year, but for whatever reason on my vacation, I'm thinking about you guys, the students who are graduating this year, who are putting together your portfolios. So I thought I would stop in and say the things that I've seen that are successful in a portfolio, some of the things anyway. So the first is the format. You want it to be something that can be easily read on a screen, like on a computer screen. So gone are the days, when you're taking a physical book. Most places you're probably sending your portfolio in online. So it wants to be somewhat similar to the format of your screen. You don't want it too letterboxed in either direction. Whether that's pages, spreads, frames, whatever, it's probably going to be 20 screens, around 20 that you can see on your monitor when you page through. Any longer than that and it starts to just feel like it drags. Any shorter than that and you're kind of going, okay, it feels very limited. At 20 spreads, you're looking at probably, and that's not inclusive of like a cover or a contents page, you're probably looking at 5 to 6 projects, maybe 7. Sometimes what I'll see is people do a lot of studio projects and then they'll have at the end some seminar, design charrettes and other small projects that they've done. I've also seen people include professional work. So if you're including professional work, it's either going to be separated or made very clear in your portfolio that it's professionally done work with a team. And what you want to be showcasing are the things that you worked on for those projects, not just like the beautiful renderings that your team did or whatever, but really showing the skills and the capabilities that you have. All of these projects, they don't need to look similar, but the graphics with which they're organized, the text that they utilize, need to be consistent. So if you're just speaking a lot about your projects or you're trying to show process a lot, it should be very consistent in terms of the language that you're using and the amount of language that you're using. Now, for those of you who are doing a thesis, it's all over the place in terms of what people want to show for their thesis. It can either be as short as your other studio projects or it can be a larger portion. I've also seen people do a separate addendum with their thesis or a shorter sort of preview for their thesis with the opportunity to discuss more in their interviews. Thesis, because it's so big and it can be so cumbersome in terms of how much it takes up in a portfolio, it's really up to you how you're utilizing that thesis project and what it's saying to potential employers about who you are and what you're capable of. Obviously, if you're going into an academic setting, showing your thesis and more research is super valuable. But for a lot of traditional employers, they're going to want to see mostly just a really broad selection of skills, project typologies, software skills, and also representational skills. So can you do the plans, sections, and elevations, but can you also do details? Can you also do renders? I personally love to see process work in your portfolio. So that's sketches, studies, study models, dirty desk photos with stuff all over them, pinned up things on the walls, stuff that gives a little bit of humanity and process to show how your brain works and to show how you work through these processes and not just a pristine outcome. We want to know how you design so that we'll know what kind of designer you're going to be. So those are things to think about. I've gone on long enough. Good luck. Reach out with questions. It's an exciting time. Look at all the work you've done. You should be so proud of yourselves.